What's going on, Jets fans? DTereman back to talk about some very encouraging, positive news on this Friday afternoon about our New York Jets. After locking in Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson on 4-year deals worth 120.4 and $130 million respectively for the two young stars, the Jets and Darren Muji were not done handing out contracts. This is the last one that needed to get done, but rookie tight end Mason Taylor signs his rookie contract this morning. I'll put it up on the screen. You'll see it. They agreed to a 4-year, $10.46 million deal. And now that's a slotted pay scale, right? With the rookie deal. So we knew what the 10.46 million was going to be all along. We knew it was going to be a 4-year deal. But the interesting part here, and Cameron Wolf from NFL Network does a great job covering this, is he gets 91.3% of his deal guaranteed. So 9.56 million of the 10.46 million is guaranteed. And the more interesting part, in my opinion, is that Mason Taylor gets 60% of his year 4 salary guaranteed, which is a 55% increase from the 42nd overall pick last year, who was defensive back Kamari Lassiter of the Houston Texans. So, with that being said, the Jets enter 2025 training camp, first year under head coach Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. They enter this camp with no contractual distractions or disputes. And for two reasons, in my opinion, I think this is a very encouraging, positive storyline for the Jets and where they've been as a franchise. The first is the players are able to just focus on the football, right? They no longer have to worry about the contract lingering in the back of their mind, as most of us are at our jobs. When things aren't going well, you start thinking about the monetary, what you're receiving at work, and is it worth what you're putting into the job? And it does become a distraction and a big factor in the production output that you have at your own jobs. Very similar case with these athletes, and obviously on a much larger pay scale. So these things are going to weigh heavy on their minds. So it allows Sauce and Garrett to play more relaxed and just go back to having fun playing football like they always have their entire lives. Obviously, Mason Taylor, this is one that needed to be done sooner rather than later because he's a rookie and everything is kind of slotted, and it makes more sense to get the big contracts out of the way like Sauce and Garrett. But at the same aspect, Mason Taylor wanted to just focus on football too. The rookies report tomorrow as I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. They report Saturday to One Jets Drive for the start of training camp. So even the rookies don't want to have that lingering over their head where they might have to miss camp and now they're behind in the playbook or behind in meetings, and it just sets them back in their rookie season. So first and foremost, you just get to focus on the football side of it. Secondarily, I mean, when you get out in front of these contracts, the NFL networks and the ESPNs of the world are not going to cover you as thoroughly. If we went into training camp and Sauce Gardner or Garrett Wilson didn't have a contract that was signed, sealed, delivered, it would have been a huge talking point. We're the New York market. We know everything is put under a microscope. And of course, in year one with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, a lot more things are coming under the microscope as we learn more about this regime and what they plan to do with the roster building, team building portions of this offseason. So when you have people going on NFL Network and talking about how the Jets don't have these deals done, it becomes a huge distraction and it trickles into the locker room and into the organization. So the whole moving in silence narrative that Aaron Glenn is pushing, in my opinion, I'm a huge advocate of, but also this keeps the mainstream media out of their business at One Jets Drive. So for those two reasons, I'm super excited. The Jets can just focus on playing football. The players can just focus on playing football, getting coached up, improving, progressing, which is what they're supposed to be doing in late July and early August before we ramp up into preseason. So very happy with the way that the money has been dealt to these players that, quite frankly, are very deserving. And I'm glad that entering training camp, we don't have a contractual distraction on our hands. Obviously, certain things could become a distraction. We're the New York Jets. We know everything is going to be, making a mountain out of a molehill so to speak, because we are New York and everything is going to be so magnified. So the littlest things could become a distraction. Contracts not going to be one of them. Garrett locked in, Sauce locked in, Mason Taylor locked in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I have a good list of guests that I'm starting to line up for next week's shows, Tuesday and Wednesday specifically. Not sure if they'll be live streams or pre-recorded. I know at least one will be live, so I will have more details on that coming out. So stay tuned on the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you are new. We're on the road to 1,000 subs, baby. We gotta get there before the Jets take down Aaron Rodgers in MetLife Week 1. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm DTereman, and until next time, let's go Jets.